Hello, fans, collectors, and investors. Welcome back to Iconic Baseball. I'm Iconic Al, and today I wanted to take a step back and talk origins and how we get started in this hobby. And for me, and for many, it comes back to family. It comes back to being a kid, being a child, and getting inspired in some way. And for me, and many others, I'm sure, it starts with getting a special item. It comes from getting a special interaction with a player, or getting gifted a card, or getting gifted something from a relative, or getting handed down something. And so I'm reaching out to the community because I want to hear these stories. If you're a content creator, by all means, I want to hear your story. What was your first item, if you have one, that got you into the hobby? And if you're a collector, I want to hear it in the comments. Post something about what were your inspiration for getting into the hobby, because that's really fascinating stuff. And I'm going to share my story here real quick.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
So my first great collecting achievement, completing the 1989 Panini sticker album. Yes, at 7 or 8 years old, I completed the entire sticker album. Now this is OG Panini. You buy packs of stickers, and you would paste or stick the stickers into the respective spot to complete basically entire team sets. And there are All-Stars. There's a section for the postseason, which was the Dodgers won in '88, so that's the team that's featured here. But basically it goes through all the starting rotations. Oh, I like that one. Tomorrow's headliners, Gary Sheffield. So they knew he would be something. It's just a fun thing to have completed at 7 or 8 years old. And back in the day, I don't know if people remember this, but Panini actually used to help kids. They used to actually allow you to mail in doubles, duplicates of stickers that you already had, and then you would make a list of the numbers that you were missing, and they would take your 20 doubles and they would send you 20 that you needed. So, I mean, can you imagine that happening these days? Like, you contact Panini and say, hey, I want to complete the set. I'm going to mail you my doubles, and you're just going to mail me the ones that I need. It was a different time. I can't even imagine something like that happening these days, but I'm pretty sure that happened. I'm pretty sure that I mailed Panini duplicate stickers, and they would mail me the same number back off of the list that I needed to complete my sticker album. But that was a great early memory of mine that kind of got me into the collecting hobby. Okay, fast forward 4 or 5 years now. I'm about 12 years old, and pretty seasoned collector at this point, and I'm probably deep into David Justice at this point. And my brother and my dad and I were over at my grandma's house, and she needed some things cleaned out of the attic. And my dad had suggested that maybe there were some baseball items that he and his brothers had from back in the late 50s, early 60s, and that they still might be up there in boxes that they had no idea. And so that seemed like a pretty exciting prospect to me, so I was totally fine with going up to the attic and rummaging around up there and helping however I could. Anyway, I remember I was the one that came across the box. I was the one that came across the file box that had newspapers from the late 50s, all having to do with baseball, Pirates headlines. Harvey Haddix had a really great game back in 1958, I think, 1959, where he pitched 12 perfect innings, or 12 no-hit innings and then lost. I think that newspaper was on top. There was 1960 World Series stuff. And then in the bottom of the box, there were some baseballs rolling around. And we didn't get through the whole box, but we took it down and went through it all. Among the things we found in that box, 3 1960 World Series tickets, including a ticket from Game 2, where Mickey Mantle hit 2 home runs. That's that one. Pretty amazing. A program from 1960, the year in which the Pirates won the World Series against the Yankees. A World Series program from 1960. From that World Series, the Pirates beat the Yankees. And an unfilled out scorecard from that game that was kind of stuck into that program, urging everyone to vote straight Democratic. Also. Again, something you wouldn't see these days. But there was a significant baseball that came out of that box. And to this day, it is the item that I cherish the most in my collection because it came from that box. And it came from my family. And it came from, my uncles and my dad and that side of the family. And their experience going to Forbes Field and getting autographs in person. And it's not one that sees the light of day very often, but I'm going to turn the camera around here and show you in detail that baseball because it is one of the most special things that I own. So stay tuned. I'm going to turn the camera around. All right, folks, here it is. It's an official Little League baseball, which adds, I think, to the charm of the item. But it's an official Little League baseball signed by the entire 1958 Pirates. Just a couple years before they won the World Series, but largely the same team. Also featuring a beautiful early career Roberto Clemente signature. Right in the middle of the panel there. A very desirable and rare signature, to say the least. And one that I am so thankful to own. And if we go through the signatures here, we have Ron Klein, we have Danny Kravitz, we have Roberto Clemente, Bill Mazeroski, Dick Groat, and Bob Smith here. We have Danny Murtaugh, the manager, on the sweet spot. If you can see faintly above Danny Murtaugh, someone had inscribed 1958, just above there, just to date it. And then Frank Thomas, the slugger, the original Frank Thomas, underneath Danny Murtaugh. And then we move to this panel, Kurt Radon, Elroy Face, R.C. Stevens, Bob Friend, and Ted Kluszewski. So he was not on the 60 World Series team, Kluszewski, but he was on the Pirates in 58. Move to this panel, we got Bob Skinner, Don Gross, Vernon Law, Gene Baker, Ramon Mejias, and I think John Powers. And then the final panel, we got Dick Schofield, George Witt, Bill Verdon, Bill Hall, Ron Blackburn, Hank Foyles, and then this last signature, Bob, help me out, YouTube. Bob from the 1958 Pirates. I need to do some more research on that one, but that's the only one that I'm not quite sure of. But just an amazing piece that I'm so grateful to have. That's the real gem. That's Clemente's 4th season. Very early signature of him. Of course, I guess everything he signed was playing days because he unfortunately did not live beyond his playing days. But I'm eternally grateful for that baseball. And that's kind of what started it all. That's what made me start to research and learn about the vintage players, past eras. And I think for many of us collectors, there is that spark. There's that one item that makes us learn, piques that interest, and gets us into the vintage hobby. So please subscribe, like, comment, and share your experience, because I'm very curious what all of your experiences are. What sparked your interest? All right, until next time, keep collecting and stay iconic.